Welcome back to Jesus in Context. Here is a number that stopped me cold when I first came across it. Studies consistently show that when people face a serious illness, a crushing loss, or a crisis they never saw coming, the number one spiritual question they wrestle with is this: did I do something to deserve this? And here is what absolutely floored me when I went back to the Gospel of John. Jesus was asked almost this exact question by his own disciples on a street in Jerusalem, looking at a man who had been blind since the day he was born. And Jesus' answer, it does not just address the man on the road, it addresses you right now, wherever you are. Today, we are going to John chapter 9. We are going to look at the first century Jewish world Jesus was standing in. We are going to look at the original Greek. We are going to look at what Jesus actually said and what he actually meant. And I believe by the end of this prime, it changes how you see your suffering forever. Let's go.
All right, let's open the text together. John chapter 9, verse 1. As he went along, he saw a man blind from birth. Now stop right there, because we are only 6 words into this story, and we already have something massive. Jesus saw him. The man did not call out. He did not push through a crowd. He was not carried by friends. Jesus was walking past, and Jesus stopped. Jesus initiated. Hold that detail, because it is going to hit you very differently by the end of this video. Verse 2. The disciples ask, and I want you to hear the weight of this. Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? I need you to really sit with how wild this question is. This man was born blind. He has been blind his entire life. And the disciples are asking, did he sin before he was even born? Or was it his parents? That is a deeply human question. And without understanding the world they grew up in, Jesus' answer will not hit you nearly as hard as it should. So let's walk back into the story, step by step, because every detail matters. Jesus is walking with his disciples through Jerusalem. They round a corner, and there he is, the man, sitting against the wall, exactly where he has sat every day for decades. Jesus slows. His disciples notice him looking, and one of them, we do not know which one, speaks up. And what he asks exposes everything the first century Jewish world quietly believed about suffering. He says, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Stop, right there. Because that question is not casual. That question is the entire religious worldview of the first century, packed into one sentence. Here's what you have to know about the world Jesus stepped into. Bad things only happen to bad people. That was the rule. That was the math. Sick? You sinned. Poor? You sinned. Blind from birth? Yeah, somebody in your family tree did something God was still angry about. The teachers of that era, called rabbis, seriously debated whether a baby could sin while still inside the womb. Inside the womb. That is how desperately they needed the equation to work. Somebody had to be to blame. And before we shake our heads at the rabbis, I have to say something uncomfortable. We still do this. When cancer hits, what's the first thing we whisper? What did I do? When the marriage falls apart, we ask, is God punishing me? When we bury someone we love, we think, I must not have prayed enough, believed enough, trusted enough. The disciples' question is not ancient. It is the question buried in your chest right now. And Jesus is about to blow it apart. Jesus answers, and his answer is short, but every word detonates. He says, it was not that this man sinned, or his parents, but that the works of God might be displayed in him. Read it twice, because Jesus just tore up the rule book right in front of them. For hundreds of years, the equation was bad thing equals bad person. And Jesus just said, no, that is not how this works. But watch what he does next. He doesn't just knock the equation down. He replaces it with something bigger. He says, "This man's blindness exists so that God's works can be seen through him." Stop. I have to be careful here, because the wrong reading of this verse will wreck your faith. Some people hear this and think, so God made this man blind for 30 years just to do a cool miracle? If that is what it means, that is not a God worth worshiping. That is a God who uses human beings as props. That is not what Jesus is saying. God did not design this man's blindness. The Bible teaches that sickness, pain, and death entered the world because creation got broken, not because God engineered it. What Jesus is saying is this: this man's blindness is not a punishment, and God is about to meet him inside of it. Do you hear the difference? The Bible never gives you a clean answer for why suffering exists. It gives you something better, a God who climbs down into it. Then Jesus does something you might have missed the first time you read this. He spits on the ground. He kneels down, mixes the dirt with his saliva, makes mud with his hands, and he smears the mud on the blind man's eyes. Kind of gross? Yeah, stay with me, because this moment right here is the most layered thing in the entire chapter. Go all the way back to the very first book of the Bible, Genesis chapter 2. What does God do there? He takes dust from the earth, and he makes a human being, the first one, Adam. Adam. That name literally means dirt. Now come back to John 9. Jesus, the one who, John says, made the entire universe, is bending down into the dust and shaping something with his hands. This is not just a healing. This is a new creation. Then Jesus tells him, "Go wash in the pool of Siloam." And watch what John does here. Something he almost never does. He stops. He breaks the narrative, and he turns to the reader and says, "Siloam means sent." Why does John stop to tell us that? Because all through this gospel, Jesus calls himself one thing more than any other name: the one who was sent. Sent by the Father, sent into the world, sent to save. So listen to what actually happens here. A blind man goes to a pool called Sent. He washes in the Sent one, and he comes back new. The pool is a picture of Jesus himself. This is not a story about one guy's eyes. This is a picture of how every human being who has ever lived finally gets to see. And when that man opens his eyes, for the first time in his entire life, he sees the sky. He sees his own hands. He sees water catching the sun. Now, this is where you would expect the story to end with a celebration. You would be wrong. Because the second this man walks back into his neighborhood with his eyes working, nobody throws a party. His neighbors start arguing about whether it is even the same guy. His own parents get dragged in for questioning. The religious leaders terrify them. And these parents do something heartbreaking. They throw their own son under the bus. They say, "Ask him. He is old enough. It is not our problem." They chose their synagogue membership over their own child. And then the Pharisees, the religious elite, they kick the healed man out of the synagogue, out of his community, out of everything he has ever known. So let's track this. That morning, he was blind, but he had a family, a community, a place. By evening, he can see, but he has lost everything else. And then, read this part slowly. This is the hinge of the whole chapter. Jesus heard he had been thrown out, and Jesus went to find him. Jesus always finds the ones who got kicked out. Always. He finds the kid who got rejected at school, the one sitting alone at the cafeteria table. He finds the family member who got written off, the one nobody invites to Christmas anymore. He finds the Christian who asked too many honest questions and got shut down by their church. He finds the ones on the outside, because that is where the gospel lives. And in the final scene of this whole chapter, Jesus turns to the religious leaders, the men who knew the Bible better than anyone, who prayed the right prayers, who followed the right rules. He looks them dead in the eye, and he says, "I came into this world for judgment, so that those who do not see may see, and those who see may become blind." Every single person in this chapter has working eyes, except one. But by the end, the blind man can see, physically and spiritually. And the religious leaders who could see perfectly, they are revealed to be completely blind. They missed the Messiah standing 6 feet in front of them. John is not telling a healing story. John is telling us there is a kind of blindness that has nothing to do with your eyes. It is the blindness of being so sure you already see. And the question this chapter leaves hanging in the air, the question it will not let you off the hook for, is simple and terrifying. Which one are you? Are you the man who had nothing, no credentials, no status, no religious reputation, and came to Jesus desperate and walked away seeing? Or are you the Pharisee, with all the right answers, the right friends, the right tradition, who could not see Jesus even when he was standing right in front of you? So, what do we do with this? With our real problems and our real pain? 3 things. 1. Stop asking, whose fault is this? Start asking, where is God in this? When suffering hits, our first reflex is to find someone to blame. Sometimes ourselves, sometimes God, sometimes our parents, sometimes that one decision we made that time. But Jesus teaches us a completely different question. Not, why did this happen, but where is God in it now? That one change in the question changes everything. 2. Suffering is not always God leaving. Sometimes it is God arriving. The blind man met Jesus because of his blindness, not in spite of it. If he had not been sitting by that road that day, Jesus would not have stopped. Some of the most important things God will ever do in your life will happen inside the hardest seasons. Not after them, inside them. The pain is not the end of the story. It might be the doorway. 3. Knowing a lot about God is not the same as actually knowing God. The Pharisees had Bible knowledge most of us will never have. They memorized entire chapters. They knew Hebrew. They knew the law backwards. And they still missed Jesus. Don't let information become a substitute for relationship. Don't let church attendance replace actually walking with God. Okay, here is where we have to stop, for now. Because John 9 is not the end of the story. It is a rehearsal. Watch the pattern one more time. A man, born blind, sent to a pool called Sent, cast out of his religious community, found by Jesus outside the city. Now flip a few chapters forward. Another man is about to be cast out of the city. Jesus will be dragged outside the walls of Jerusalem, nailed to a Roman cross, abandoned by his friends, rejected by the same religious system that kicked the blind man out. The light of the world will go dark. But John 9 already told you how this story ends. Because when Jesus got his hands in the dust, new creation happened. And when Jesus himself is laid in the dust of a tomb 3 chapters later, something is about to be made new. Something bigger than one man's eyes. Something big enough to open the eyes of the entire world.
Before you go, let me pray for you. Father, I lift up whoever is watching this right now. If they are in the middle of something they did not choose, live, illness, loss, grief, confusion, a question they cannot shake, I ask that you meet them right there. Remind them that they are not being punished. Remind them that you are not a distant judge. You are a father who saw a blind man sitting on the side of the road and stopped. Do that again today. See them. and give them, even in the dark, a sense of your nearness. In Jesus' name, amen. If this helped you today, smash that like button and subscribe to Jesus in Context for today. And drop this in the comments, not punished, seen. I will see you in the next one.